If you're still copy pasting the same prompt into ChatGPT over and over, then it's time for an upgrade. So the problem with ChatGPT's web interface is you can pass 50 rows and say analyze each one. You're forced to copy pasting them individually, waiting for each response before moving to the next. But actually there is a better way. In this video I show you an easy approach with which you can process hundreds of rows at once, extract specific data, categorize everything automatically. This means you can lean back, relax, enjoy, and come back when the task is complete. I'm David, and after 2 years of building AI pipelines, I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up using N8n, which means you don't need any code. And this is a very easy setup and super reusable. For any kind of tasks which you want to automate, you can even link other tools and connect them, such as calendar or email. But in this case, we will just show this universal problem of batch processing. I made this video so you can follow along. Give it a like if it gives you any value, and highly recommend that you subscribe for upcoming N8n tutorials as well as other videos. By the end of this video, you'll know how to turn soul-crushing copy-paste marathon into quick automations, and you'll have learned a smart and transferable technique that helps with single items hassle. So here is what I mean. Let's start with the step-by-step demonstration with everything being completely free. So instead of using the ChatGPT interface, we just use this canvas here, which has already all the nodes that we need. The only thing that we need to adjust is we have to connect it to our data source, and we have to tell it which data to extract from that data source. So to help you with this, I also listed those nodes down here. So actually we only have to make small adjustments in these 4 nodes for your particular task. So in this node, in this workflow, the trigger will activate that we read the data from the Excel. Then the next node here, this will just select a particular range so that we don't process all of the file all the time, but we can, for testing, just process one, for example. And then we loop over that row, or over all rows. I have here a small node, so this just serves to validate the format, so everything is all right. And then this is basically the analog to the ChatGPT interface, where the ChatGPT prompt is sent and then received and processed. And when it's processed, we can directly write this information back to our data source. Let's say you have a task of repeatedly extracting information from a text like an email. Let's say your goal is to find an elderly care facility for your parents. So what we want to get out is some more columns with information. Let's say in this case, call this column availability status. And there is another one. We also want to extract maybe the cost range for a start. And furthermore, we also look for cognitive stimulation program. So now we have decided, okay, let the large language model, our chat model, extract this information here. And yeah, so how do we go about this to automate this? Because I don't want to modify the prompt and then pass it 20 times into the chat interface. Therefore, I built an N8n node. So N8n is just a simple interface where you can build workflows, and you get access to this. You can easily make you an account on N8n, or you can also self-host it, and then you just copy this into there. So this is the file with all the information, and if we copy paste this into here, you can see, okay, looks like this is AI workflow. Now I'm not going to show you how to authorize to your Google account to give you the access to your Google Drive. But when you have done that, you can just select here this account and then also select the document of interest, which would be the elderly demo doc in our case, and also select the sheet. Okay, that's all we have to set up in this node. Then in the select range, you can adjust the range. If you want to process all of them, you should just go here to the end, to the maximum of your rows. And then this node is also already set up and ready to run. Important for us now is that we have to adjust this structured output node. So this is basically containing now information from an old extraction task. So now for our new purpose, we simply change this. So for example, we can turn this into the exact name that we labeled here. So we take this and put it in here. But we also want this be of a string type, so that it gives us an answer that is language based instead of just right or wrong. And then we can also type here a description. I already prepared this, so let me just fetch it. So it's this one. When they have openings available. It's a very simple description. Of course, you can also make it more complicated, but it's not really necessary. And now, so you would do this for everything, every item that you want, every information you want to extract. You basically put here the column heading, the column title, and then normally I just use string here, and you can also do then description and give it a short description. And so let's say we do this for all of our columns here. So that would be availability status, cognitive stimulation program, and cost range. And then we would end up with a new schema, something like this. Yeah, so that's it. We have just completed the most laborious task. So this is the customization with these 3 items that we want to extract. And now let's go on and finish to set up the last node. This is the write Excel node. When we go in here, we choose our data source where we also want to return our information back. We select the sheet 1, and so the large language model will turn out data, and we want to feed this into this node so it gets written to our source data, to our source file. So we will just run it once, and then we will have the output there, like this. Now you can see this is the output of the node, of the predecessor node. And we just drag this availability status into the column name field. And now you can see this no appears here. And we do the same thing for this value as well. And there is one little thing we also have to do. So it has to know in which row do we actually update these new values. And that's here you can set this. So column to match on is the response ID, which I show you in this doc file, the response ID. So what happens is it looks into this node, takes the response ID and compares it with the row in the here. And then if it matches, it will update those other columns. So here, actually the node name is formation validation, and now we have set this right. And now everything is set up. So we can go on and test this. Just execute again. And this is done. Workflow successfully executed. and we go into the file and we see, yeah, okay, this is what we wanted. There is though one issue I have. So here they just say availability status no. And I would prefer to have some more insight into this. So I go and simply adjust our structured output format again and add to this description that I want to have some more details. For example, add short reason summary. And if it correctly follows this now, we should get, okay, waiting list of 12 to 18 months. Okay, this is better. I like this. And since I have just confirmed with testing that this is what I want, we can now iterate over all the range. So this is, we just go much higher. And now you will see that it starts and iterates until all the 20 rows are processed. Okay, fourth is done, fifth is done. Sixth takes much longer. So that is not a problem with our workflow, but this is a property of the method that we're using, because right now we're using a free API. And this free API only allows 5 requests per minute. That's why this takes much longer now, but we can just wait, and when this is done, I come back and we continue. Okay, we're back, and this just completed. So you can see all the 20 rows have been processed successfully. And instead of us reading the whole text, we just use the large language model to get the most important information. And when we look at the output, okay, this looks really good. We always have a value. There is one issue I do not like. So I would prefer that all the answers in here start with a yes or no. So we have very fast way to get an overview of which answers are actually interesting to us. I recommend you to use at least 4 before you run the whole loop. Yeah, so you can see this is a very easy setup, and it really saves you a lot of time. At this point, you already learned a method that saves you hours each week, and you can use this to impress your colleagues. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and drop a comment below telling me what data processing task you want to automate next. So next, I show you the user prompt and also the AI models that you can use. I also show you the troubleshooting tips that will save you from the most common mistakes. Okay, so now let's shortly look at the user prompt. I purposely designed this so that it is very generic and it describes particularly well the task, but not the specific information it has to extract. So also we could leave this away, this is not so important, and it just, you are precise data extraction specialist. Your task is to analyze the provided text and extract specific information into the exact JSON structure required. So that's basically everything, the whole task. And then I use these XML tags so that the input, the specific input, is very clearly delimited. So yeah. Then in the next section, there's just some minor information about be thorough and extract and exactly as it was stated in the source, and do not estimate, round or modify any values. We don't want any mistakes or hallucination. And one more thing is that it should not just leave the JSON fields empty. Instead, it should use like a hyphen or 0 or false if there's like nothing written about that. And here we can also look at the expected output format. So I purposely didn't say anything about this because it already knows how to structure the output, because it will take that information from this other node that we just adjusted before. And this is also to increase a little bit the accuracy of the performance. And yeah, start here. So That's about the user prompt. And yeah, so the next thing is, if you have troubles, if you have an issue, just check all those 4 nodes that these are really set up correctly. And it might be that you will have an issue with the verification of your credentials. Sometimes they expire. In that case, just click on this edit field, and yeah, right now it's connected, but you can reconnect it, sign in with Google, use your account, and it will give you this notifier, and it tells you, yeah, this is not verified, but N8n is a pretty reliable company and we don't have to be afraid. So we just continue. Again, continue. And this quickly we are reconnected. Okay, so that is the first trouble that you could face. And the other thing is, maybe you have a mistake in here. So there's a very strict syntax. For example, here, this is very special. You cannot just change this to classes or something. It won't understand this. If you give them a predefined set of values, it must be in using this enum key. And yeah, if you try to extract like many of these, let's say you get it, right? Then the more you add, the more difficult it gets for the large language model. So if you have a bug there, maybe just try to reduce the number. And one important thing you also have to recognize is that these here are the exact column names used in the Google spreadsheet. So if these don't match, then this node will not throw you an error. So you have to pay attention to this. Yeah, and just if you have another issue, just drop it in the comments and I will try to help you as soon as possible. To wrap this up, I want to say, grab the complete N8n workflow template, link is in the description and completely free. Customize the 4 keynotes for your use case, start with a few test rows so your structured output schema gets really foolproof. If you want to take this to the next level with advanced AI pipelines, I can't cover everything in this video, but I will share more N8n workflows and frequently post on LinkedIn about AI frontier developments. I hope you have fun tinkering and developing this further. If you like professional assistance, book a free 30 minutes consultation on my website. And if you found this valuable, check out the video for non-techie savvy viewers to watch more about N8n, or here for those who want to run it locally or self-host it in the cloud. Hit the subscribe for more AI automation tutorials, drop a comment with what you want to automate next, and I'll see you in the next one.